News alert, Empire actor Jussie Smollett is now in police custody as of this morning. He reportedly turned himself in at 5:15 a.m. Chicago time after making a statement to police.
His arrest comes hours after he was named an official suspect in the alleged hate crime attack against himself. Smollett is charged with making false statements to police, and if he's convicted, he could face 3 years behind bars, if not more, actually, if they prove to be a federal crime.
Right, exactly. That's the question. Is the feds apparently are looking into the fact that the threatening letter was sent through the mail. Meanwhile, a police news conference is expected to reveal more details. 10 a.m. Eastern time. We'll probably hear what was in the statement that he made. The actor will then head to court this afternoon at 1:30 for a bond hearing. Let's bring in Michelle Malkin, syndicated columnist and author. She joins us today from out in Colorado Springs. Michelle, a lot has been said about this case and the rush to judgment because so many people came out and were so supportive of him when he first told the story, which, as we now know, was not true.
Right, it wasn't true. And in my experience of reporting on hate crime hoaxes over the last 20 years, when you see one social justice huckster, you've seen them all. And I very early on called attention to some of the troubling contradictions, lapses, and complete nonsensical claims that were made 3 weeks ago. So I'm glad that all of the Johnny-come-latelys are finally now debunking this, because it was clear from day one when this story, quote unquote, first broke in TMZ that it was a publicity stunt, and none of the claims that were filtered through TMZ initially made any sense. The idea that there were people in this liberal elite enclave in Chicago shouting at Jussie Smollett at 2 o'clock in the morning when it was below freezing as he was supposedly strolling around getting a sandwich didn't make sense. All of these questions were already swirling in the local media on January 29th, and it took this long for people to realize that the whole thing was a scam. Why is that? Because people were afraid. They've been intimidated for so long into asking these common sense questions.
Not the
because
Chicago
of
cops.
Identity politics.
Not the Chicago cops. They got to the bottom of it. They were relentless in doing it, and I'm sure other cases were starved because of it. Now, a lot of candidates quickly ran to the defense and expressed their outrage. Hey, even the president did. But we should call Adam Schiff, actually tweeted immediately saying this: I met Jussie Smollett at a pride parade in Los Angeles and have seen the passion and moral clarity of his activism firsthand. This week he was the victim of a horrific attack. We pray for your speedy recovery, Jussie, and reject this act of hatred and bigotry. He has deleted that since.
Yes, a lot of people have. And of course, now people like Kamala Harris have been struck with sudden death syndrome. Ask her about the tweet that she wrote. Huh? Can't hear you. La, 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 can't hear you. And a lot of this, of course, falls on the media as well, which stoked the hysteria about it and is in large part responsible for this culture of just knee-jerk witch hunts. You know, my question is, who's going to be accountable here? At least with the rush to judgment on Covington, we now have lawsuits. But where's the recourse for all of the Trump supporters, of course, who've been smeared by this? Because now you've got Jussie Smollett's lawyers saying, oh, well, we need a presumption of innocence. Where's the presumption of innocence for people who support the president?
You mentioned